Happiness through curiosity on the Ranveer show. Welcome to TRS Clips. Why don't we talk about that a little bit? So if you could give the listeners some kind of context on the situation in Manipur at that point in time.
Okay.
Like what was actually happening there and why were you all required to carry out operations?
Okay. Those days, the situation as a youngster, when I look back, when I see, the situation was something when I landed up in Assam Rifle, I remember correctly, I was told by Colonel MS, it is a kind of appointment who deals with your posting in those areas. So I was told that I am the youngest officer posted in the Assam Rifle those days.
How old were you?
I was just with 3 years of service and I was about 24 and a half, 25. So when I landed up there, I was told when I interacted with the civilian, they asked me, are you from India? So there was actually setback. I think I'm in India. He said, no sir, आप India से आए, हम मणिपुर का है. What does it mean? You don't consider yourself to be part of the India? So situation was that bad. Believe you me, I'm telling you, there was not even a single book. There was not even a single newspaper. There was no movie in Hindi. It was absolutely banned. It was a kind of an parallel government which was running there. That was the kind of the whole, groups had.
What had caused that level of animosity? Was it like kind of feeling rejected from the Indian government?
No, maybe not from the government, I would say. Firstly, the lack of awareness.
Okay.
Exploitation is damn very easy and when people are not aware. And as such, life in mountains is very difficult. People have their own vested interest by social, anti-social elements, whether it is, anyone who has got political interest or the groups, those who have been working there, anti-national elements. It is very easy to exploit the guy who is not aware of what is right and what is wrong.
And the motivation at the top is almost always power or money.
Power
money.
corrupts and it corrupts absolutely. So I realized, people don't even consider themselves as a part of the India. It was a shock as a youngster. I never was aware of this brutal truth until unless I went on ground. And then I realized young people, most of them, they just wanted to pick up a weapon and have a feel of it. Yes, I'm powerful in this area. I have got power with me. So as a youngster, you're dealing with a youngster. He also have got a weapon. I also as a youngster has got a weapon. So it's very difficult. Two people of the same age group. One has been trained by the military and second, and is totally disoriented. He doesn't know, he just have a weapon. And he want to have that raw sense of power. Yes, I am powerful. And it is very difficult sometimes when you face a situation like this.
The question I wish to ask you at this point is the first kind of dangerous combat experience where you felt like, oh, okay, my life is in danger here.
Okay. Only once. In Northeast, if you ask me, the initial combat days, we entered into some house. It was again fighting in built-up area. So we were aware that there were people. The input said that whether they are in possession of weapon or not, we are not aware. Fine. So we had assumed all kind of contingencies, but we had never thought that it can happen this way also. The moment you open the door and you will find someone and a pointing weapon at your head. Now this was something which we had never assumed, but it happened. Murphy's Law. It had to happen.
Because of the lack of weapons in the Northeast generally?
No. Because the guy was in a very tight situation and his neck was in the noose. There were no outlet to go out of the house.
Okay.
So he thought there is only one option. The moment I take a first shot, the moment you take them by surprise. I think probably that was the mindset. You just enter it and you take it by surprise. So we had never thought in wildest of dreams that the moment we, generally the tendency is you open the door and you throw some grenade and wait for some momentary reaction. But no. The moment we kicked the door and opened it, the guy was bloody standing with his weapon in his head and he just put it on the head. And when you face situation and you go black, I went black at least that time for a moment. And maybe luck wasn't my this thing and he pressed the trigger, nothing worked. Maybe the weapon was faulty, there was some technical snag, but it never worked.
Wow.
But it still took me in a couple of seconds to, muster my senses. It happens. Your nerves goes blackout because I never expected it is going to happen. Ki kholte hi, the guy will be in front of you.
What was going on in your head?
Nothing.
Just blank.
It went blank because, I was prepared ki once you enter and I'll go this side or that side. This is what I'm going to do. I was part of the room intervention drill. I was in the leading party. But the moment the guy, he had put the weapon on your head, I went blank. Only for a couple of seconds. And then he also went black. He was also surprised it didn't work. Then he cocked his weapon again. Meanwhile, those seconds were good enough to get back to his senses. And then I had given a solid hit on his blood, on nose and mouth. Then we were able to check on that guy. I was able to catch him.
When you look back at this entire Manipur experience now, And we're just at that part of your tenure at this point of the podcast. When you look back at that entire Manipur experience, what was your one learning from it? Because it was an early part of your army tenure. So what really stayed with you?
Two things stayed with me. One from the military perspective and one from the civilian perspective.
Sure.
In fact, I will tell you three, and one from the militant point of view. Three things. Firstly, about the military point of view. I was serving in Assam Rifles. I realized that they are known as Sentinels of the Northeast, an amazing force. You go to one company, you will find people, it is a mini India, you are commanding as a company commander. People speak multiple languages. People from north, east, west, south, you name a state and the guy you will find within the company. So this is one potent force I realized which can operate with great smoothness in any part of the country. Any language interpreter, it is at disposal. And still the beauty was they all used to speak Gorkhali, Nepalese. 100% of them, whether it was a Sikh, whether it was a Khalsa or a Tambi, they spoke fluent Nepalese. They had same eating habit. This was something amazing. And experience. There is no substitute for experience. In Assam Rifle, even a Jawan, he serves till the age of 60. There is no other force where people serve till that. So guy, imagine carrying out 40 years of experience. He might not be knowing English. He might be a little poor at the weapon handling, whatever. The age is not on the plus side. But experience is something, they can give you the best advice, one of the most professional advice.
In terms of combat situations?
Yeah, in combat situation. I give you one specific example. There was some input, we had to go to some place. So I asked boys, okay, so what is the route? Who knows map reading? In special forces, infantry, RRU, always open map, when you're going to new area. Assam Rifle, I got over this. I never used map, I never used GPS. Why? Because I had walking encyclopedias with me. All I had to ask them, we have to go to location XYZ. What are the routes? People used to give me multiple options. So 4 routes. One route, we go, but only small vehicles. Traveling time, so much. Potential threat, this much. There have been 2 incidents on this road, year so-and-so, with specific details, how many casualties, which group, everything. This is the second route, so longer route, it is going to take this much time. Plus minus is this. So third route, no vehicle, only by foot. It is going to take shortest, this much time, and these are the advantages and disadvantages. It was amazing. They knew every no corner, bridge, they had every detail printed on their mind. Because they were static, they used to stay they used to stay at one location for many, many years. Subsequently, that rotation thing started. So this is one experience from combat point of view, army. From militants, I realized those groups, those who used to operate, they had a very strong ethical and moral code of conduct. It is amazing. Not even an iota of there is when I compare it to the J&K. I've seen any group guy doing any wrong thing in the public against the code of conduct. There used to be the headline in the newspaper. The individual so-and-so, a cadre of this group had done something wrong. Apologies on behalf of the commander and organization so-and-so. We apologize to the public, to the sons and daughters of the Manipur. A code of inquiry has been constituted, headed by Colonel so-and-so, and this is the board composition. And the entire board proceedings, along with the decision taken against the individual, will be published in the newspaper. They had a strong ethical code. They never did anything wrong to the ladies, to the children, to the elderly people. And even a Fauji officer, if he or Jawan, if he was in any public place with his family, they were your walking insurance policy. Give me one example in the world where people have got this kind of code of conduct. You will not find. I can bet my even pension or commission on this. Any Jawan or officer, any person, whether it is BSF, police or anyone, you will not find one single example in the history when people were with their family and anybody has caused any harm to them. It demands a lot. That is from them. Third example from the public. Again, if you are being nice to the people, I realized you respect age, you respect gender. Children, women and elderly people. Nothing will happen to you. Nothing against the organization. You have to have a very solid reason, to go against that pulse of the environment, to get on the wrong side, so that people go against you. Otherwise, you respect them. I remember I had taken participation in dance. There are local dances people do on various occasions with boys and girls holding their hands as a youngster and doing dance on the road. Thangal Chomba, if I remember correctly, that was the dance festival they used to do. I'd gone to the remotest areas to attend a marriage function in the night without even carrying a weapon. Just only on the gut faith. Maybe I was wrong. People say you were mad. Of course, I'm okay with it. But I'd attended marriages where I'd gone there alone, only with a driver. I knew if somebody had extended an invitation to me, They are my insurance policy. They will ensure my safety. And they proved me absolutely correct. That was another lesson. The situation in an area is as good or bad as you are. Highly applicable in Northeast. That is the third thing what I learned from them. So I've given you 3 examples, one from the cadre point of view, one from the military, and one from the civilian.
Thank you for watching this clip. If you want to learn more about this topic, we've curated a playlist just for you, and here's a link to the whole episode.